take a look at some of our new features about the new features for ambassadors and also the new social feed page as well. That's what our goal is today. So let me first share my screen with you all. So my name is Sam. I do customer success / support at StoryChief. So you may have heard of me before, or maybe even talked before as well. So let me just first share my screen. If any questions at all to the webinar, let me know. And either myself or my colleague Carmen, who's also in the webinar, can also answer those questions. So don't be scared to ask questions. And towards the end, we'll have a short Q&A where we can get to answering all of them for you. Okay, and if you're watching recording this webinar, don't be afraid to let us know all your questions via email, via support@storychief.io. So support@storychief.io. All right, let me now share my screen. Let's see this one here, I believe. All right, so hopefully you can all now see my screen. If not, shout out in the chat. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to first create a new ambassador channel. So many people, I think, aren't aware of this feature. It's a really great feature to expand the reach of your content. But first, you do have to create a channel for that. Let's first do that together. So what we do is we go first into our StoryChief workspace, of course, to get the login. And then we go over to our name and click on channels. And then we go down to ambassadors or press. So it depends on what you want to do here. So ambassadors, you can think of these people as could be your colleagues, could be your clients, could be your friends, your family, employers, employees, whoever it is, people like you want to share your content out to. Whereas press, it could be people who are members of the press or people who you want to have your stories or your social posts included in their own publications. Then the press is probably the better option for that. But regardless of which one you choose, you can customize each one to kind of fit your own style as well. So let's take a look at ambassadors. Let's use that one for now. Now I can click on add new destination to create a new ambassadors channel. And what this allows me now to do is to add contacts inside of that channel. So how we do this is there are a couple options. We can either upload a CSV file. So if you want to add lots of contacts in bulk, you can do it that way. As an example of how to do that in our help article as well. So you can see the format of creating that CSV file right here. Then you can just, again, add them all in bulk. Or you can just add them one by one. So if I want to add myself to this list, I click on add new contact, and now I can just fill in my own email address. Whoops, there we go. My own email address, if I can type, there we are. There we go, good. And then you can choose if this person gave you permission to email them. Now, if it's a colleague or an employer or a client, they may have said to you that you can use their email address in these kind of communications. But if not, you can always leave this unticked so they get a confirmation email where they can accept that invitation. Let's save that for now. All right, that's now pending, as you can see. So I would now get an email asking me to accept that invitation. So now once I've added people to the channel here, I can then start to use it inside of my stories and social posts. But before doing so, you can also customize this channel if you want to, customize how what text you want to have inside of those emails. You can change the name that's used inside of the emails, the from email address, the reply to email address, and even take it further by adding default messages as well. So if you want to have for each story, every single story you share out, this default email template, you can customize that here, save it up, and then for each new story you share out, this will be the default placeholder text, which you can then customize further if you wish. That's good for now. Let's go back. Let's go to now stories. Let's now see how we can promote one of our stories to one of these channels. But before we do so, let me just approve that ambassador email so I can get that email as well in my own email inbox. There we go. Let's just do that quick. All right, that's great. Fantastic. Okay, so now I want to promote one of my stories. So let's say it's this one here. I want to share this to all of my different colleagues. I click on edit, and I just publish to this channel the same way as I would any other channel. So I just go into the story, into the editor, go to audience, and then I just select that new ambassadors channel to publish to. And here we go, once it loads, there we are. For our marketing channels, and now we see my new ambassador list, 19, it's right here. I then activate that, and now I see a preview on the right-hand side of what this email would look like. So you can see that default template I specified shown here. But of course, I can also customize it as well if I want to. I can change up this default template. I can change the title, I can change the message as to what would fit for this particular story. All right, so again, you see the preview here, see the subject, the full name, the from name as well. So you know exactly before publishing what people will get once they open that email. So the really cool feature about this is that you're sharing your story to people, and not only are they getting a link to the story and seeing like an excerpt of it, but also having these share links embedded as well. So you can see here Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, WhatsApp, and email. If people click on these links inside of the email, it'll open up that social platform where they can promote your story as well on their own networks. So not only are you sharing your story on your own company social networks, but by using this feature, you make it easy for other people to promote your story on their own networks. And that can increase your reach dramatically. So definitely do that, make use of that feature. It can really increase the spread of your story. All right, so that's that. So then we can publish it out and everyone will receive that email. Once you've done that, you can also see in the report of your story how many people opened and actually interacted with those links. Let me just show you how that works. Hopefully I have an example of that, but I think I have it in this help article here. It should be here somewhere. Perhaps in the bottom here. Let's find one quick. Here it is, I think. And we can see in the reports here, it's a bit small, but make it a bit bigger. You can see how many people actually received that ambassador's email, how many people actually received it in the email inbox, how many people viewed the email, how many people clicked on any link inside of the email as well. So you know from your colleagues or your clients or your press contacts who actually checked out the email, who clicked on the links. That way you can know who actually is engaging with our posts. Maybe I need to change the messaging, make it clearer why they're being asked, all again to help you increase your reach. That's stories. So again, the same works also for social posts. This is actually one of our new features. So previously you could only use ambassador channels for stories, but now it's possible for social posts as well, which I can show you here. So let's create a new social post. And now I can, as usual, choose my default social channels. Could be Twitter, LinkedIn, a Facebook page, Instagram, why not? Then we can add our message to those platforms as we usually would do. But if we scroll further down, we can see we have a new ambassador section in the channels where I have my new ambassador list listed. Click on that to activate it. And now I can, again, customize my message. And once this gets published out via email to my contacts, they again get an email with a link to all the social posts. So I have an example of this, I believe, somewhere. Let me just find it quick. Here it is. There we are. Here's an example. So this is what somebody could get from us once you share out the email, your social posts. They see your message that you specified and also all of those social posts that we created for all of our different channels. And what's really cool about this is that not only can they create their own social posts, but they can also just engage with your current ones. So if you want to get more engagement on your posts, use this feature. They can see all your posts, they can like on them, they can comment on them, they can share them. Again, as one goal of increasing the reach of your content. So both of these features, both stories and social posts, share them with all your contacts, with your press, with your colleagues, employers, whatever it is, share them out and you can increase your reach tenfold. So definitely do that. So that's our ambassadors features for our stories and social posts. If there are any questions about those features, do let us know in the chat, and then we can get towards answering them at the end. But now let's move on to our next new feature, which is a social feed page. Let me go back now to my dashboard. Let's close out of this. Okay, now let's go back to our dashboard, just show you how we do it from a fresh login. So now to activate our social feed page, we go to, again, to our name at the top right corner, go to settings this time. And now we go over to stories and share settings. And now we'll see an enable button to enable that. So click on that, and then that is activated. And now what this does, it shows every single social post you've published on one page. sort of like in a wall format. So let's take a look. Here we are. So again, in my workspace, lots of junk posts, but normally yours will be a bit nicer than this. But we can see here every single junk post I've created in this workspace. And if I scroll down, I can just see every single social post, when it was published out. I can just keep scrolling down to see what they are. So again, this is really useful if you are wanting to get more engagement on your posts. There's one static link here, so I can just share this with you all in the chat, like so. There we go. And you can all take a look at that right now during the webinar. You can take a look at this. You can see what it looks like. So the real goal of this is you share this link with your colleagues or clients or contacts, and they can just keep checking this link every now and again to see what new social posts there are. Also, and then engage on them. So again, increase that reach of those content and to get the word of mouth out about them. That's a really useful feature. And you can just keep using this more and more to increase that reach. All right, so that's that pretty much covered. This is a new feature. We are looking at ways to improve it as well in the future. So again, any feedback you have about this, do let us know. So remember to activate it, and then you can start to share it with your contacts. All right, I think that covers all of our new features today. I do see some questions in the chat, so we'll now get to answering them. So any questions now, do let us know in the chat and we can answer them for you. I see a question here from Ron. Could you please show how the opt-in email looks like to the recipient? Yeah, I can do that for you, Ron. Let me just give me a sec to find an example. I think we have one actually inside of our help center. Let me just see if I can find that. But it's a very simple email that just asks them to confirm, but we can definitely show that to you. I think it is here somewhere. Here we are. So it's just an email with asking them to join our ambassadors program. They click on confirm, and then they're added. If they were not to click on confirm, we just wouldn't send out an email to them. But it can be custom. It cannot be customized. No, currently right now it's a standard message, but in the future definitely we'll look into making it customizable. So thanks for that feedback, Ron. We will definitely pass that on to our product team. A question from Alice. Our email doesn't show the nice social media buttons in the preview and also when we receive it. Is that normal? That can be normal, Alice. It depends how you set up your channel. So if I were to go back to my channel page for that new ambassadors channel, we can customize what is shown in those emails. Let me just bring it up here. So here's my ambassadors channel. Let's click on edit. There we are. And now, if we go to settings, what we can now do, we can customize, again, not only the default text that is populated in the editor, but also we can choose what's displayed in the email. So like you said, Alice, the share buttons, you can disable that here or activate it here, whatever you want. You also choose to display the whole story inside of the email or just a summary, and also the export buttons. So the export buttons are more useful for press contacts, or if you want people to download the entire story to their own computer, that's what those are. So typically you'd have these disabled, but if you want people to actually have the offline version, you would turn that on. And below this is also for your social posts as well. This was for stories at the top. This is for social posts. So again, you can customize the default text. Hope that answers your question, Alice. If not, do let us know. Any other questions, or are we all good? Bit of a short webinar today, but if you have any questions about anything else about StoryChief, feel free to also ask it in the chat. I'll be more happy to show you some other stuff if you want. Any other questions, or are we all good? Again, it could be about anything at all. Yeah, I think we are good. Well, it's been a pleasure showing you how these new features work. Definitely make use of them. They can, again, increase the reach of your content by an awful lot. So definitely do that. Any questions about it at all, reach out to us via support or via email at support@storychief.io. And more webinars coming up very soon. So stay tuned to our webinar page. And also, we'll let you know via email. That's everything. Thank you all for watching.